Hi, welcome to the third session of number system. In this session, we are going to learn about irrational numbers. Before starting the session and learning about the irrational number, let us talk about what they are. And if we have any two numbers on the number line, let's say we have the number on the number lines. This number is 1 by 5 and this number is 5 by 7. Is there any other number in between these two? Yeah, we have infinite numbers in between them. What these infinite numbers are all? These infinite numbers we have discussed in our last session, they are rationals. And these rationals can be fraction and they can be a integer. An integer can be a negative, neutral and positive. And the positive are natural and together they become a whole number. So these all we have learned. But other than rational numbers which are in the form of p by q and q not equals to 0 and pq belongs to integers. Other than these numbers, are there other numbers which lies between them? Yes, there are the numbers which are lying between these two. So many numbers are there. So what these numbers are called? For example, if I will say there is a number, any number, if there is a number like this, square root of 7, this is a number. If I will find out the square root of this number, I will have some number which will be a non-terminating and non-repeating number. Or I can say this number root 7 cannot be expressed in the form of p by q. We have discussed this also. We can't represent this in this form. So, if we are not able to represent this in this form, then what these numbers are called? What these numbers are called? The question arises. So, we have given these type of numbers a name which is called irrational. So, irrational numbers are the numbers, those numbers on the number line, and number line I am talking about real number line, which can't be expressed in the form of p by q, q not equals to 0, where p and q belongs to integer. So these type of numbers which are not in the form of p by q are known as irrational numbers. Let's have some example on that. Example, I will have a square root of 2. I will have cube root of 3. Let's me have cube root of 4. If I am writing square root of 4, then square root of 4 is 2 and it can be written as 2 over 1. So this belongs to a rational number q. This is a notation of rational numbers. So this belongs to rational And just I would like to clear very important fact in which most of the students normally do mistake. Very crucial thing I want to tell you is, if I'm talking about the square root of 4 or square root of 9 or any square root, then what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the positive root. That means I had to find a number. Square root of x means I had to find a number which, when multiplied by itself, results in x. This x. This results same in x. So what I have to do is here I have to find a number which, when multiplied by itself, it again results in 4. And normally the number can be minus 2 into minus 2, or it can be 2 into 2. In both the cases, I am resulting 4. So, are these two the square root of 4? No. The answer is no. Why? The question arises, why? Because whenever we are talking about, I'm talking about like this, I'm talking about x is equal to square root of 4. Then what I'm talking about is, I'm talking about the positive value only, or I will say only 2. Why it is only 2? The question arises, since the degree of x is 1, this is a linear 1 x, so it will always have a single value, and single value, when we are talking about, we talk only about positive values. Moreover, in a more elaborate way, I can explain it in a different way. I can explain it like this. Let me clear the board and I will explain it again. When we are talking about like this, a equals to square root of 4, because I am taking only 4 because it is a very common number to all of us. So it will be positive value. So it is only 2, or I can say, I can write. You will study this in some higher classes. What we have to do is square root of 4 is nothing, it is plus minus 2, and we put a mod. What this is? This is called modulus of positive 2 plus minus 2, and modulus is always having a positive value. This is a perfect explanation of this. Or I can say like this, x square is nothing, it is plus minus x is equal to x. I will give you an example. Minus 5, mod of minus 5 is 5, and mod of 5 is also 5. It is always positive value. If you put a mod on some value, it becomes positive, always positive. Whatever the value is here, it results in a positive value. So a square root of a number is nothing, it is a modulus of its value, plus minus 2, and we have 2. This explanation you will find up in higher classes, but for this when we are in class 9, so for that class 9, what we have to do is we have to learn only one thing, that whenever we are taking a square root of a number, then we had to take only the positive value. Be clear on this one. Normally we do these type of mistakes. What type of mistakes we do? Let's say I will give you an example. What is the value of option A 0.2, option B minus 0.2, C both A and B, and D we have say 0.02. So which will be the possible answer for this? The possible answer for this is, we have to find out the square root of a number of 0.04, and we always has to take some. Normally when a student is not very much clear about this concept, we have to take a positive value, they will put this as an answer, but this is not a correct, this is wrong. This is not the answer. The answer is only this one. So the answer is option E. Only this is the answer. This type of common errors we normally do, and we feel sometimes we applies on this type of things. Say every time in this today's world, percentage is playing a very important role. So whenever we had to take go to higher classes, so be clear on this. Even a single mark will put you down. Okay, so this is the one thing I want to show you. Now let us go. We have learned about irrational numbers. After this, let us know about representation of irrational numbers on number line. Whenever I am talking about, I am writing number line, it is a real numbers line. Let's take very first example. Represent square root 2 on number line. Normally what will happen is, square root of 2 has a value of 1.414 and so on up to 3 decimal places. But if I will put a point 1.414 on the number line, is it a perfect value? No. Still I am in a very dire position, or I have just taken a very approximate value of that. What I have to put it? I had to make exactly the point where root 2 lies. For this we need one or two things. One is radius of circle is always same. If we just draw a circle or we draw an arc, it will always be at the same distance from the point. And the another one is Pythagoras theorem. These are the two different things we had to keep in mind. Let's see. Draw it. In a Pythagoras theorem, in a right angle triangle, if this is a 90-degree angle, and this is A, this is B, then according to Pythagoras theorem, the longest side, the square of the longest side is nothing, it is equals to the square root of the sum of square root of the sum of the square of the other two sides. So here sorry, what I have to do is I just draw a number line, okay, and I will take A and B both equal. I will take A and B both equal. Let's say I will take like this. This is A, this is A. Now what this become? It becomes A square plus A square and under root, which will become 2A square under root, and it will become A root 2. Okay, that means if I have a number like this, and these two numbers are A, this is A, so this is A root 2. Just learn this. This is, if I will put A equals to 1, so what will I have? This is 1, this is 1. So this will become 1 time of root 2, and it will become root 2. So this distance becomes root 2. So I had to put this distance. I know the length of this distance by default, because from my scale which I have, I can mark 1 unit. I can mark 1 unit like this. If this is 0 and say this is 1, again this is 2. So I will take this as 1 and draw a 90 degree, draw a line which is like this, and mark a point here which is, let's say this is the point, this is also 1, and this is 90 degree. So this distance, according to this triangle ABC, this distance is nothing, it is root 2. The distance is root 2. Now, if I will take this as a center and taking this as the radius is this AC is radius, AC radius, C as center, and I will just draw a circle like this. Taking this like this, I will just draw a circle like this. I'm just drawing it like this. I'm just drawing an arc. I'm just making an arc like this. The same I will put it here. So this distance, because this is the arc, this distance also, this is the radius, so this will also be the radius. So this point here will also be equals to root 2 like this. If I will put here, I will have here like this. I will put it like this. So what is happening? This is the radius, so this will also be this point P is also the root 2. This is root 2. So I will have this point P as root 2 because this will also be equals to the radius. So this is the way in which I can put the I can mark the irrational number, and you just know for every point we have a specifically unique number which is denoted on a specific point, and for every number we have a specific point on the number line, a unique point. I can write with this. I'm sure this is clear to you. We have done. I will write 2 important points, very important point. These are every point on the number line represents a unique number, and every number represents a unique point on the number line. This is one thing. With the point, we have done for square root of 2. Now for square root of 3 also I can make it. I can put it for square root of 3, square root of 5, square root of 7, any number I can put it. And how will I have to denote all these? I will make rule. If this is a right angle triangle and this is a square root of n minus 1, this is 1, so this is the square root of n. For example, in case of square root of 2, what we have, this is 1, this was 2 minus 1, so this is root 2. So if it is a square root of n minus 1, for example, if I had to draw root 3, I had to draw root 3 here. So what I have to make it? I had to make it root 3 minus 1, that is root 2, and here it is 1. So on a number line, directly I can make a square root of 3. I can directly, this is 1, let's say put it 0, take 1 here, 1. So this is root 2. I have like this, so this is marked as root 2, or I will put it in down like this, root 2. Then I have two different ways of marking it. The first way is I will again mark 1 here and then make a right angle triangle here, there, and then put it like this. So this will be root 3 and then like this. So this point is representing root 3, or what I can do is I can also make a straight line here coming to this one point and like this, and then again I will mark like this point, and again it will be, because it is meeting at this point line, so it will again be at this. So this will also represent root 3. So this is the way in which I can represent root 3 or root 5 or root 7, whatever the roots I want to represent. I can represent every irrational number on the number line. Clear? Okay, so with this I would like to end up this session, because we have learned about the numbers, rational, irrationals, and we have divided all these numbers, irrational numbers, and adding rational numbers, because numbers can be only of two ways, and these two numbers together make a set of real numbers. So all the numbers which we had to represent on the number line, they are either irrational or they are rationals, and we have discussed a lot about the rational numbers, what they are, and now we have discussed about irrationals also, and I'm sure you understood all the things, and how to represent a number. We will do the other things in the exercise. We are going to do the exercise in the next session. Okay, so have a nice time and thanks a lot.